Good evening, ladies and gentlemen out there in YouTube land. I am Deleted Scenes, human being, American, and YouTuber Ronin. And I'd like to welcome you to tonight's special episode of Live from Sparkwood in 21, taking a ride down Mulholland Drive. This is going to be the first of our two-part deep dive. What we're going to do tonight is watch the film. And of course, that will be, if you are watching live along with us, you can follow along on Cosme. The Cosme link should be at the top of all of our chats. And of course, if you have your own physical copy of the film, you can sync along with us as well. And for those of you who maybe are not watching live or do not have your own copy of the film, I do believe that this movie is currently streaming on HBO Max, so that can be an alternate way for you to follow along. All right, so Live from Sparkwood in 21 is a show that started out being a basically a watch along of the Twin Peaks television series. The first two seasons from 1990 and 91 that originally appeared on NBC. On ABC. And then eventually the season 3, The Return, which appeared on Showtime in 2017. And when we lost our great visionary co-creator of the show, David Lynch, this show became a retrospective not just of Twin Peaks, but of his career in total. So we have begun watching his films, and we've covered The Elephant Man, Wild at Heart, Any Racerhead, and tonight we are revisiting Mulholland Drive. So I am going to bring on the super fans who are joining me on this Odyssey tonight. Last call, Troy Pacelli.
Thank you very much. Very excited about this movie.
Indeed. Netters Network.
Good evening. And didn't we visit Mulholland Drive last night in that Escape from LA movie?
We actually did. That's right. That is one of the locations he passed by.
And Flappy Apologist, H. Boomer.
Yeah, I'm a Flappy apologist. He got a raw deal. He won perfect, but you know which of us are? Really, seriously.
True.
I do want to remind everyone that we are all simulcasting this show on our various channels tonight. So please go around to everybody, say hello, give us a thumbs up, and also say hello over on my X page where we're also live. Yep. So I do want to say hello to everyone who is currently joining us here in the live chat. FKHC 2005, sometimes known as Tim. Yep. And yes, Blake 7 should be starting right on time at 11, which is why we're going to get the movie started here just as quickly as we can. Yep. Also, I do want to say hello to the creator of the 10-word review, the host of Films with Friends, Big Al Presents. Faithful Blue Wrench channel member, the Bird Woman of YouTube, Connie Cleary. Friend of the channel member JPRPH1. Thank you to Ruby Hoove for gifting a membership over on Troy's channel. Who is the lucky winner?
Scott Westbrook. That is at Scott Westbrook 7030 on YouTube.
Oh, right on. And hello to Shadow of the Raven joining us from the UK. All right. Lester's
Skeptic.
Skeptic Tank Obsessions. Here to
Yes.
breathe and watch a movie. Indeed. Nate dropping a member check. Geek Flag with Nate Knows, 1973 member for 7 months. I was almost late. Had to bail out Flappy. All right. Well, we are on a bit of a time crunch. We do want to get to the movie as soon as we can because we don't want to start Blake 7 too late this evening. So, all right. Please, everybody, join us over on Cosme. And we will get started with the film. Mulholland Drive from 2001. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Jumps right into the studio canal opening. And so if it should be right now on all 4 of our video descriptions, you will see a little blurb. The 10 clues David Lynch himself wrote down for viewers to look for to help decode this rather trippy piece. Starting with number 1, pay particular attention to the beginning of the film. At least 2 clues are revealed before the credits. And don't worry too much. We will get back to all of these points and look at them in detail next week. Just want you to have them in mind as we're kind of going through this. So what's going on here and how does this apply to a character in the modern day, the main character in the modern day?
Well, didn't she say she won something in a jitterbug contest?
Yes. So that is an excellent point. Kathy Selwyn, who is well, it's hard to say who the excuse me, Betty Elms. My apologies. Betty Elms is the apparent main character. You see her right there. Her backstory is that she wins this dance competition, but for all the people I saw dancing there, she wasn't one of them. I just want to point that out.
Well, I don't know.
This opening is a bit of a that gold yellow blanket there. My mom actually had that exact blanket, although it was fairly common. This is sort of a bookend for the movie, a little bit of a foreshadowing. That heavy breathing and moving into the pillow.
This Escape from LA prequel is weird.
Yeah, exactly.
I saw this in the theater when it was out.
Did you really?
Yes.
And you were like, "What the F is this?"
No, that was the rest of the audience because I'm sitting there and suddenly people just keep getting up and leaving. It like there were holdouts and then people kept walking out, and it's weird how now this is considered the greatest movie of the aughts, the first decade of the 20th century. Did you know that?
You know, if you know who the director is, you know, and you know you should go into it knowing it's going to be a little bit weird. So you sit and you watch it and you take it all in and you think, you know, and then you go back and you watch it again. Pick up some of the details you missed before. A lot of great story from behind the scenes. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I did notice, though, that there is a meme that JPRPH1 shared in the in Cosme. That is, of course, the so-called bum behind the Winkies. A very jump scary type of scene played by the actually quite lovely Bonnie Aarons. Yes, that is a female actress, even though the bum is, I think, thought of as a male character. I'm not 100% certain that's the case. Obviously, you could tell music by Angelo Badalamenti, who does have an appearance in this movie. The actress's name is Laura Herring.
She was in The Punisher.
Was she?
She was the wife of John Travolta's character in that.
Oh, okay.
Laura Herring, as in red herring?
Interesting that you bring that up. One of the clues, in fact, is notice the appearance of the red lampshade. Keep an eye out for that. And the reason that I mention Laura Herring here is because the establishing scene is a car accident that she's involved with. When Laura Herring was on her way to the audition for this role, she was actually in a minor car accident.
That's a little weird coincidence.
Well, also a weird coincidence, Naomi Watts was having a very dark time in her life. And while driving on this stretch of road just before she got this role, she kept looking off the edge and thinking about what could happen, what may be.
Good. Well, the jerks are dead.
Maybe she had it coming. You never know, right?
That is a very interesting point because, and I am going to get a little spoilery. I'm going to get a little ahead of the story because there's going to be a lot for you guys to absorb anyway. She right now is dealing, and for the rest of the movie, dealing with amnesia. So she doesn't even know her own backstory.
Well, we don't know yet because we don't know what her backstory. Now it's possible they were the bad guys. It's also possible maybe.
Exactly
I
right.
don't know. We just don't know. Look, there she's wandering off.
I want to say goodnight to Shadow of the Raven.
Oh, take care, Shadow of the Raven.
Look at all those lights, huh?
Yup.
Well,
It's Hollywood, baby.
That's until Snake hits the button. You know?
Right, exactly. Then woof, it all goes. That is why I like that bit where he looks into the camera and blows out the candle at the end.
So we know now that if you are in Mulholland Drive, you can walk down the hill and you end up at Franklin.
I guess so. I actually don't know the Los Angeles area that well, so I would have no idea.
Now she's on Sunset Boulevard.
It's one of those directors who will be greatly appreciated. Notice when she left the scene of the crash, she didn't have a purse or her shoes. Okay.
She has a purse that's in her hand.
He's saying that when she left, she didn't have those things. Notice that these two have been having a very good time.
She's just gonna fall asleep. Are you getting a Snow White vibe?
Well, possibly. Also, probably concussion. I mean, she obviously has a head wound, so,
Well, considering that she just laid down next to a sprinkler, she's going to get a face full of water.
Also, considering that this film was originally intended to be a vehicle for the character, it was meant to be a spin-off show focusing on the character of Audrey Horne. what was I going to say about that? The Sherilyn Fenn, who played Audrey Horne, was also in a movie that we saw called Wild at Heart, where she was in a car accident and expired as the result of a serious head wound.
And I have to think that this scene is a holdover from the pilot, because I kind of find it difficult that you have Robert Forster here and you also have Brent Briscoe. And this is the only scene of the film that they are in.
I have not done. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Which
I have not.
Makes me
I'm
wonder.
sorry.
So, it kind of makes me wonder if they didn't have larger parts that were edited down.
Well,
certainly they would have had more to do in a series.
And keep in mind too that the original story was very open-ended. It was meant to go on like Twin Peaks does. You will also notice that, well, you will by the end of the movie, it does feel like two completely different stories spliced together. Now, in retrospect, as we go through the clues, there's a reason for that. But I do think it would have been a very different story if left the way it originally was, and if it had aired as the original pilot. So getting back to one of the other clues, the very last clue is, where is Aunt Ruth? It's probably one to keep in mind as we're watching some of these establishing scenes.
Is that redhead supposed to be Aunt Ruth?
Possibly. So clue number 4 is that an accident is a terrible event. Notice the location of the accident. Who gives a key and why? Keys will show up, as they just did, a number of times throughout this movie.
She's not in the best of shape right now.
No, well, she's still suffering
but her
from a
purse
headache.
makes a great pillow.
So, Winkies. Obviously, it's meant to look like Denny's. It was originally meant to be Denny's because that was David Lynch's favorite diner, I guess.
You're joking.
I kid you not. I'm not a big fan of Denny's, but whatever.
Dude.
But I want to focus on the name Winkies. David Lynch does a lot of references to The Wizard of Oz, and the Winkies are the name of the natives of Oz that live. I want to say in the, I can't remember, north, south, east, and west. But
yeah.
They're the name of the race that were. If I'm remembering my Wizard of Oz lore correctly, it's the name of the race that were the flying monkeys. Let me look this up. I want to confirm for myself.
I could go on a Denny's rant, but I should save that for another night.
I can't stand Denny's.
I'll say, if you go to a Denny's, you're better off just getting something simple like pancakes or eggs or something. You'll probably be okay, But
okay.
Oh, you're probably not safe with that. Every time I've eaten at a Denny's, no matter what I've had, I've gotten physically ill.
I stand corrected. The Winkies were the native inhabitants of Winkie country in western region of Oz. They were known for their association with the color yellow. Follow the yellow brick road, right? Their skill in tinsmithing and their role, they do factor into the origin of the Tin Man, and their role as soldiers under the Wicked Witch of the West. So in other words, the orc-looking or the goblin-looking individuals. Okay,
This dude is really stressed out. You can see all the marks on his forehead.
He really is, because he is very concerned about this dream about somebody behind this place.
If he's so
Obviously, go ahead.
why didn't he pick a different restaurant to go to then?
Because he's telling them that's this specific Winkies. That's his
Yeah,
dream.
it's like when you have a really bad dream, and I've talked with a lot of people about this. So concerned about this dream, I'm afraid it'll come true. How many dreams have you had that have come true? Most people will go, none. Okay, then probably not something to worry about.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I am not going to own a farm with chickens that like actually live in the water.
Chickens that live in the water.
I had a dream the other night where I had a bunch of chickens, and they lived in about 6 inches or so of water. And when you put the chicken feed in the water, sometimes you'd get a big fat worm that would fall out of the bag of chicken feed, and it would fall apart like bubbles. It was weird.
Mm,
and I finally had to tell this guy that I was not going to sell my chickens to him.
Guys, I am. Let's go on to a private for a second.
Okay.
I'm not sure about this Nutter chick. I think she's a little weird. Oh, I'm on the air. Yeah.
By the way, that guy left behind bacon. He deserves what he gets. You don't.
Good point. You make an excellent point there.
No such thing as abandoning bacon. That's just not. Unless you're kosher, I guess.
That's a cardinal sin.
Yeah.
Okay, who's the guy with him that's following him? Is he a shrink, a cop?
Yeah,
what?
this is
Yeah, he should.
Yes.
Just
don't
a
really
friend
say.
of his, yeah. I love the sweat on his brow and his face. He's like he's almost hyperventilating.
This is not a good neighborhood. That's what I'm getting from all this.
No. And did you see the friends react like, oh my God?
Now that reminds me, I swear, of the things that we saw in Twin Peaks: The Return. Remember the
Yep.
The things that were in that
The
town.
lumberjacks. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not saying
that
it
is an
one
excellent
of those
point. I have not made that connection before. Speaking of Twin Peaks, you'll notice Mikey Anderson here.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's our lovely brunette that we saw earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello to Emoji Queen, Lady Mist.
So he'll be back again. The character he's playing is a Mr. Roke. And you'll notice that we all know Mikey Anderson as dwarf, but he's playing a tall individual. He's literally got a fake body, like from the waist down. So you always see him seated. There's the red, or at least a red light shade. There is more than one, actually.
And of course, we get our first full scene with Betty Helms.
Right.
And now arriving in Los Angeles.
The place where dreams can come true, right?
Yeah, and nightmares.
Goodbye, Betty. Is that like something in a dream where you lose something, but then you see it later or something? Is that what that is?
Well, there's that element of it. There's also the fact that it seems unlikely that this is how things would go for someone who arrives in LA for the first time looking to strike it big. Usually you have a story about, I got off a plane, I was robbed. Somebody took my luggage.
Like something out of Death Wish 2 or something, right?
In fact, hold on to that idea for the movie we watch on Saturday night. But here, just when she thinks, oh my gosh, I've been robbed. No, she happened to have got a cab, and the cabbie was, proactively loading the stuff into the cab, which seems unrealistic. Just like the couple that she just got off that flight with, behaving in a very unnatural kind of way.
Yo, people won't stop smiling.
Right.
I'm sorry, Netter. Go ahead.
So she only has 2 suitcases?
Yeah.
That's also unrealistic.
The legendary Ann Miller.
Who looks like she had the same surgery as Michael Jackson on her nose.
Well, she's...
I think when she said "Okay, Coco," when I was in the theater, my sister and I looked at each other funny, like what is this? What is this? It's like 2.
Yeah.
Data from Star Trek might be able to follow this better than we could, I'm thinking. all the weirdness of how people are acting.
Yes, Lester, Jet Girl, indeed.
It's like she's too excited, like a child. You know what I'm saying? Or not even like a child. It's weird. It's
there is an incredible amount of naivete.
Like, shouldn't she be a little uncomfortable in new surroundings, right? Like she's not used to it yet, right?
Right.
And shouldn't she see the sleeping lady underneath her kitchen table? Because that's the same house.
Oh, she's not under the table anymore.
Exactly. That's not something she was expecting to see.
I'm almost expecting, thanks, Coco, for leaving me an outfit on the floor.
Right, exactly.
Hello. And I'm Arthur, King of the Britons.
So I imagine that these two are sort of like opposite. Like her hair is blonde, short, hers is long and dark eyes. Is this like a opposite sort of thing going on here?
That's a great theory.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far down that road because we'll definitely get into that more next week.
Okay. Just look at their appearance. It's like they're two different.
What I am going to say about this, though, is who is the main character here? Which of these two?
This is when she realizes she doesn't even know her own name.
Exactly.
I thought it was the guy in the restaurant. No, I don't know.
See, this is why eventually we're going to get to some other movies where characters' identities kind of.
Ooh, Gilda. Is that another pointed reference here, maybe?
Well, there's a lot of Hollywood references here. This is, of course, where she takes the name Rita from, for Rita Hayworth. She's going to introduce herself as Rita.
Kind of is your business. She's in your apartment.
Exactly.
Oh, that's interesting. Third person mentions a redhead.
Yeah.
Well, as long as Hollywood's being run by people that know what they're doing.
Well, let's be very clear about this. This movie is meant to be a very acidic look at Hollywood.
Actually, I know exactly how she's feeling. There are times where I just feel like ick, and it's like I just want to lay down and sleep.
Yeah.
Should you be sleeping with a head injury though?
Well,
it's not as serious as they used to say. You know, you keep them awake, don't let them sleep. It's not really the case. But if you do have a head injury and you're feeling drowsy, you should seek medical attention to make sure it's not a subcranial hematoma.
I have a question about these aerial shots here. Did Lynch shoot those themselves, or is there like a stock footage place you get aerial shots from?
I don't know the answer. Well, I mean, the answer to the second question is yes, there are places that you can get that. I don't know, though, if they were filmed specifically for this movie or not.
He's got this look like, what are you going to do to my movie?
Yeah. But again, about Ann Miller, check out her IMDb. She is like Hollywood royalty, and this was her final full-length movie acting credit. She did retire after this role. So we did watch The Elephant Man and Blue Velvet, both of which Lynch received Best Director nominations. He also received Best Director nomination for this film.
So that's Camilla Rhodes,
Yep.
played by Melissa George, who was always, in my opinion, an actress that always got passed over
Yeah.
for reasons I never understood.
I really feel like there's a lot of people in this movie that if this had gone to series the way it was intended, may have had a lot lot more exposure and probably a bigger career. So I had mentioned that Angelo Badalamenti appears in this film. He's in this scene. There you go. That's him.
Ooh, this is the girl.
Is it though?
Espresso. Why do I have to say it again?
Yeah. By the way, that phrase, this is the girl, spoken 4 times throughout this movie.
We had twice so far, right?
Yep.
Okay. Gonna try it out.
I mean, he takes his coffee seriously. He is not going to swallow it.
Is he Italian? Is this like when Germans come over to the United States and have beer and they're like, "This is swill"? Is this like the same thing? Like,
I think you're right. You don't try to justify if he didn't like it, he doesn't like it.
This Tropic Thunder prequel is weird.
It's no longer your film. Yes.
Yeah.
What's funny, Tropic Thunder and this take place in the same universe.
I'd be okay with that. Yes. And this is, again, a huge indictment on Hollywood.
Yeah, oddly, I don't think they got.
Well, no, because I think it's ironic that it's Melissa George. That's the girl. And Melissa George is, in my opinion, an actress that was probably passed over by other picks that weren't as worthy of roles. I think Melissa George should have been a leading lady actress. And you'd see her pop up in things, but never, it was hard for her. And I don't know why. She's stunning. I never understood it. It's funny
that you say that because in the question number 8, did talent alone help Camilla? That's a plot point in this movie.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
Yeah, he's really not a happy camper.
Yeah, take that, Dino De Laurentiis.
Yeah, exactly.
Meanwhile, we now return to sneaking around your own apartment.
Right, exactly.
What?
She's checking on her. I think that the arms are actually not.
His. Okay.
It's like the suit is cut so that the arms don't have to go all the way into the full length of the suit jacket.
He's living the dream, that guy right there.
The scene.
Yeah, it's this scene where we lost the last of the theater goers. The weirdness that happens here. The last just got out of there.
So this character here, played by Mark Pellegrino, the guy standing at the filing cabinet, he's wearing a Union Jack on his shirt, and his eyes are two different colors. He is meant to be a nod to David Bowie.
And if you want to talk about actors who don't get their due in Hollywood, Mark Pellegrino is certainly one of them. And that reason is he's pretty based. If you remember his Twitter, he's not down for a lot of the BS.
Yeah.
Ow! All right.
Yeah, this is what lost the last of the theater goers. I thought it was funny, but people were this was them walking.
Well,
out.
it is supposed to cause you a chuckle. He's obviously setting up. See, this just complicates his problem. If somebody is trying to end their own life, they're not going to accidentally fire into a wall and then themselves.
Yeah, people aren't always so easy to kill, you know? That's what I'm getting from this scene.
It's like, you are like the worst assassin in the world.
No, he's not. He's no Antonio Banderas from
right,
from
exactly.
Assassins. You know?
Yeah. And when we get to next week and we start discussing, start going a little deeper into the film, I will explain why I think this scene is here. Because when you watch this the first time, you're going to wonder, what the hell is this? Why are we seeing this?
What do these characters have to do with?
I have a theory about that.
You gotta take this guy out.
It's like, what the heck? I mean, what's interesting is, yeah, now he could kind of argue that, well, he killed 2 other people. And then himself, you know.
Well, if we're using dream logic here, this is like when you try to fix something in a dream and it keeps getting worse. You know what I'm saying?
There is that. There is that.
I mean, I've had
element of
dreams
it,
like that where like I'm trying to fix things and like I feel like I'm fixing it. It just gets worse and worse and worse and more complicated until I wake
Although,
up.
if you say it that way, whose dream is it? This could actually be. I think there's more than one story going on here. Who's Rita?
Is Rita gonna have her eyes open while listening in on all this? I'm just.
Dial 911. Ask for a Detective McKnight.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yes. I think that's the appropriate reaction.
You just told me who you were. You're Rita. What's in the purse?
What's your last name? Meat or maid? Oh, I'm sorry.
This is a very well shot scene. I might have to say well shot and well edited.
I'll be your friend, Rita. What is this? That's what we call fat stacks, right?
Right.
We should stop at the Sizzler you're buying. I just. Oh yeah, this thing. I remember this.
The key.
Mm-hmm.
Who has taken the key? Meanwhile,
Yeah, you can put someone's eyes out with those things. It's very, very cold in LA right now.
Yeah. Those hot dogs, huh? It'll be an adventure.
not unlike the Goonies.
Oh, ah, the Goonies. Nice car. Uh-oh. Is the plumber there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some pipes getting cleaned?
Well,
Mhm.
he's got an achy breaky pipe, we'll say.
There's the pool.
Yeah. There's a pool cleaner's truck outside, but the pool cleaner is not by the pool doing any cleaning. But he is working up a sweat.
Ah, you're the one to talk.
And again, I'm going to say that her reaction is, pretty normal, the way, you hear stories like this. He's having a nervous breakdown, so, his reaction is pretty normal. Billy Ray's over there is very strange. So when he says things like, just forget you saw it, it's better that way. I tend to wonder if that's actually this situation, the way it's happening, or if it's symbolic of someone else's situation in another instance.
Is that Billy Ray Cyrus?
Yes, it is.
Okay, my earpiece stopped working.
He's having a day. He really, really is.
Are they going to get divorced now?
Oh, very likely.
Clever hiding space, huh?
Yeah, that's the first place people look, but okay.
Coco's going to be in there in an hour snooping about, right?
No, it could be.
What happened to her hair? Hold the phone. Was I not paying attention? Was there a cutting scene with the hair?
I don't think so.
Maybe
Yeah.
it wasn't as long as I thought it was. This was just about where you could still find payphones, right? When
Right.
this movie came out, but they were quickly disappearing.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
But anyone who knows Mulholland Drive and the S curve there and whatnot knows there's frequent accidents there. That doesn't mean a whole lot.
Meanwhile, back to Winkies.
Again, that's not something they would put in the paper, car accident, There's too many other things going on.
Well, they would put in a car accident when somebody got killed, like those kids did.
Missy
She
Kreider.
know her name was Diane. She look at her name tag? Diane.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Cowman Show. Cowman says, recently showed my friend Mulholland Drive. The man behind Winkies made her scream. Oh, yeah, I'll bet. Very unsettling scene.
Right, and as I was pointing out at much earlier on in the movie, that so-called bum was actually played by a woman named Bonnie Aarons.
Mm-hmm.
She's very angular features.
The Nun, yeah. Valak, yeah. From the Conjuring films.
I would have said it's my house now.
Yeah.
Right.
She climbed him like a mountain.
Well, he is kind of like a mountain.
That's why I said that.
Bam!
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, yes, he is in somebody else's house, but damn it, there comes a point.
You know what this is almost like, though? Like, I remember years back, if you expressed wrong opinions online, like certain banks would close down your account, right?
Yeah.
That's remind me of.
Yes, we are watching the movie right now. The Cosme link should be at the top of both chat of all of our chats. We're just about an hour into the film, so
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is about halfway or so. I know, but you're broke.
Ah, the cowboy.
Do you think the Sam Elliott cowboy and this cowboy, the Sam Elliott cowboy from Big Lebowski and this cowboy come from the same place?
I am guessing not.
Okay. They sort of appear out of
Based
nowhere,
on
though,
my-
don't they?
Based on my theory about the cowboy, which we'll get into next week.
The cowboy is a straight shooter with upper management written all over him, right?
Well, kind of.
Why is she telling all this stuff for him?
Yeah, why not? Drive out in the middle of nowhere and meet a complete stranger. Yeah, okay.
Give that cowboy a yodel. Damn.
I imagine the on her bed are like lots and lots of plush stuffed animals or something like that. Just...
That's what you say now.
Who's at the door?
And they're nervous. Gonna have to answer if you're gonna find out who it is.
And we found the movie's log lady, ladies and gentlemen.
Exactly. I think you're absolutely right.
This is so weird.
By the way, that's Louise Bonner, played by another classic longtime actress, Lee Grant.
Looks like my sister Jeanette.
Boy, there are some busybodies about here, huh?
Yeah.
Faxing never went quite away because of the medical profession. You know that?
True.
Yeah. You have to wonder who faxes anymore. It's still used by. I think it's less traceable than stuff over email. That's why they like using it. They don't like.
There
email.
there are a number of industries that do still use fax. Not the mainstream media, though. They like to make up facts.
I'll say this. David Lynch knows how to shoot night like no one else.
Oh, yeah. You're absolutely right. Also, I do want to say that it was kind of important to me that we watch this one before we watch Lost Highway or Inland Empire. I do feel that it kind of
Okay.
it kind of thematically lays the groundwork for those other two.
So I've watched this scene numerous times. It's on YouTube because, of course, I can't just get to it on the DVD.
Oh. Whatever. Sure. So I do want to mention something else.
That this guy has no eyebrows?
Yes, that is true. That's intentional. He's supposed to come off a little bit strange, a little bit maybe otherworldly.
No, it just comes off as weird.
The other thing is Monty Montgomery is not an actor. This is his only credited acting role. He is mostly a producer, friend of David Lynch. He couldn't even remember his lines. He's actually reading off of cue cards.
Looks like he's staring right through him.
Yeah.
He's wearing a white hat, though, right?
Yep. David Lynch tends to use weird electrical effects when a supernatural event is happening.
The Hollywood sign.
Interestingly, Laura Herring there is actually reading from the actual script for the movie.
Is this Falcon Crest?
until you started to fall apart at the end there.
Dude, I hope they don't have one of those that's whizzing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. Coco strikes me as a lady that serves canapes. Am I wrong here?
I don't even know what those are.
Like hors d'oeuvres. It's like,
Oh yeah, sure.
like weird hors d'oeuvres. Just go away, Coco. Whoa. She looks like she's wrong a lot, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that, you Deleted made the connection between her and the log lady, and it does seem like she's the one who keys into when things aren't what they appear to be.
What the?
She's got an interview, or she's got an audition at Paramount.
Is that the dude from Return of the Living Dead?
I think so. Yeah,
Yes.
I've seen him in a lot of things. So
James Cairn is also on Poltergeist. Among any
Was he the
many
father
other-
of John Gulager from that Project Greenlight season 3?
mm.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of
Yeah,
somebody else.
that was the other. That was the other guy.
Okay.
This is James Cairn. Chad Everett, of course.
Chad Everett. That makes no sense.
Was this before intimacy coordinators?
Yes.
He's making her very uncomfortable.
And hello to Sub Samadi. The film is Mulholland Drive. We're about halfway through. Join us in Cosme if you wish, or with your own copy, like I'm doing. And hello to Curtis Selby as well.
Hey, Curtis.
Of course, this is the audition scene.
It's very uncomfortable, and I think it's meant to be.
On purpose, yeah.
Yeah, because he's old enough to be her father.
Mm-hmm. Well, the story within which they're supposed to be acting, he's supposed to be a friend of her father's.
Okay, that's kind of cringe.
Yeah. Interesting take on the scene. I don't think that's how it's written. Yeah, she's drawn for something real. Oh yeah, very good, really.
Yeah.
Forced? That wasn't forced.
He's
You're
just
not
pulling
paying
stuff
attention.
out.
Yeah.
You kind of get the idea that this guy.
Well, you also have to remember, sometimes, in fact, most of the time, people aren't giving you genuine reactions. They've already decided who they're going with. So,
They have that scene in Argo, the scene where Adrienne Barbeau shows up, right? And she has this little
Yeah.
side conversation with Alan Arkin, and then when she leaves, he turns to Affleck and he goes, "Keep that space witch away from me."
Right.
Why? I was married to her. And of course, we are now back to the movie that Adam is supposed to be making, right?
Right.
Look at the director.
Oh, hello. And I'm always left to wonder that if this had gone to series, where some of these plot strands would have gone.
Yeah.
And of course, with what you said earlier, with this, the very original conception of this film was this was supposed to be a spin-off from Twin Peaks involving Audrey.
Right.
Where was that going to go? You know? Oh, man. What if?
But
Now,
this is one thing that I always have to remind people when I discuss this with them. That was the original concept. It
Yeah.
was never filmed with Sherilyn Fenn, however. You got to keep that in mind. It was originally filmed with the two girls that are in it. So, in other words, that was the original idea, but that's not where Lynch went with it when he actually got around to doing the pilot.
and of course, that last, Melissa George.
Mm-hmm.
That lipstick is not working.
Oh,
Actually, it's less the lipstick than the difference between her hair and eyebrows. That really throws it off.
Like she doesn't look right at all, and I guess that's
If
the
she
point.
was if she had blonder eyebrows, the overall makeup would look more logical.
Guy from Cagney and Lacey. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go with it. Yes, I'm trying not to get shot or whatever the hell else was going to happen.
Sony headphones.
Product placement.
So this is what it comes down to. Doesn't matter how good you are. Doesn't matter if you're perfect for the role, and it doesn't matter, who suggested you for it. If the fix is already in, you're not getting the role.
The thing is, she's blowing her chances to get this role because she decided to go off and meet Rita.
Well,
I'm going to argue that's not what really is happening here. She had no chance of getting the role. She never did. And her reaction to the director is bizarre on a couple of counts.
no, going back to what you said, what have we heard? People being cast by how many Instagram followers they have.
True.
And of course, obviously, this was before Instagram was so prevalent, but still.
And whether or not, yes, Curtis, the implication is that there was an organized crime connection here. But I think that by being very on the nose about it, I think David Lynch is also saying one of the things they also have to deal with is studios and producers making decisions that have nothing to do with the director and writer's creative vision.
D. Selwyn. And who might that be? Oh, look out.
So another element that you get in, because we do tend to refer to dream logic and the way dreams work and so forth. One of the things that happens in dreams is when you have a goal, right? It seems like things always get in the way and come up and distract you from that goal.
Yes. Because you can't complete the goal, right?
Exactly. And I guess you could draw the same analogy to an ongoing television series, right? You don't want to have a beginning, middle, and end because you don't ever want it to end. So you just keep coming up with reasons for the couple not to get together or for the job to fall through. And, just when she thought she was out, they pulled her back in, whatever. The next leap wasn't the leap home.
RYT refuses to monetize you.
Yeah, exactly right. I like those split sleeves that she's got on her sweater.
Sleeves. Huh? Oh, sorry.
Hello, how are you? Do you recognize this woman?
Yes, I do.
She's saying don't do it.
Why not? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Because one of us just might be in there.
Yeah, exactly. Kinda. I thought this might be your house. Well, it is, because you're in here. No one's home.
Hello.
Mm-hmm.
Does that happen often?
She's up here. Okay.
Oh, there's 17. Hello. Gonna do a little light trespassing now. I know, it's like, what are you doing? Don't do that.
Especially in a skirt.
Well, yeah. And those shoes.
Okay, who had the bologna and beans?
Oh, God.
Johnny Lawrence.
Possibly, yes.
Why does no one ever turn on lights in these movies?
I know. Well, they're not even supposed to be in there, so, you know.
Fatality.
He's pretty dead.
Yep.
Arm.
I mean, that would have to be pretty horrifying, yes. Curtis Selby is absolutely right. Trespassers are not criminals, and you can't remove them from the premises without due process.
You know, fly casual.
Yeah.
I know what you're doing. Yes, you're butchering your haircut.
Or doppelganger. Maybe.
So red wig was an option.
Okay, you cannot get platinum blonde hair that easy, especially going from that dark. It would take several applications over several days.
It's a wig.
But they're trying to make it look like she dyed her hair.
No, they're not.
No,
She's about to be told to take the wig off.
Apparently, she sleeps buck naked.
Well, it's not like she had, any change of clothes or anything.
No.
No, but Betty could give her a nightgown or something to put on. Well, I'm sure her aunt's got pajamas.
No.
That's not part of the plan, though.
We're going with this.
Yes.
No, but the big boobs are, apparently.
You notice that's the exact same blanket that I pointed out as being on the bed at the very, very beginning?
Yeah.
The goldish yellow one? Curtis Selby. Great movie, 9.8.
Wait, we're not done yet.
Just wait. Yeah, just wait.
Yeah. There's more.
Lady Miss is like, doing.
Huh? All right, now there are the people who are like the haters on this movie who are just like, all right, you got hoodwinked. David Lynch just took pieces of a television pilot and then threw in a lesbian scene.
Hold on. Don't get distracted here. Don't get distracted. Something very important is about to happen. Listen to what she says and watch Rita's reaction to it. Again, very slow to get to the line.
But they got to have a lesbian scene.
That is not the reaction you expect to see from somebody when you're kissing on them and they say, I'm in love with you. Again, I do not believe. Well, I'm just going to say, because we kind of got to give the setup getting into next week.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe any of this that we have seen since the pillow scene at the beginning of this movie has been authentic. This is, you've got to try to imagine what reality is filtered through a dream. Now she's saying Silencio. They're about to go to a club called Club Silencio. I believe that from Club Silencio on, the dream unravels and we start to get glimpses of the actual story.
Yeah, nothing in this movie is in here by accident. There's a point to
Right.
everything. Yeah. Look out. Right now? Now.
Mhm.
Right now, now, or later now?
See, 2 in the morning is usually when places are closing down.
When will now be then? Soon.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Oh.
still very reticent about that pending sequel.
We now return to Lost River, already in progress.
Phoebe Augustine and a Cheryl Lee lookalike. There is no band. Oh, he goes ahead and translates it.
Huh.
I do love this because it's one of those things where there's meant to be a deception and it's being presented and they're telling you it's a deception. He literally said there is no band. This is a recording.
The Cannes Film Festival gets weirder and weirder every year.
Yeah, you're right. See, it should be very clear that
Doc Severinsen, ladies and gentlemen. Doc Severinsen.
and I'll tell you something else. If this literally was, pre-recorded and whatnot, his timing would have to be perfect.
Well,
Convulsions. or me waking up in the morning, one or the other. Vincent D'Onofrio is Timothy Carey in.
Uh,
They're in the Black Lodge.
I was
Maybe.
just gonna say, I expect him to start talking backwards or something, right?
You're the Matrix. He's still funnier than Kimmel. I'm funnier than Kimmel. Come on. All right.
I also like the fact that they actually introduce her as Rebecca Del Rio. It really is her. I love this version of the song. I get the distinct impression that David Lynch really likes Roy Orbison. We had a Roy Orbison song in Blue Velvet too.
The eyeliner, is that red and gold?
Yes. And black.
I'm just saying, is that something to do with the blanket we saw earlier?
Oh, I hadn't considered that. Oh man, I never even thought about that before.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying it means anything.
Right, Nate?
It's a box.
Mm-hmm.
with a keyhole in it.
Yep. Drew's got a new Lego video up on his channel. Be sure to check it out when you get a chance.
Cool.
And welcome, by the way, Drew. That's probably not a bad analogy, Curtis. Pandora's box. When you open it, the innocence completely ends, and you release all the.
I just saw something.
Huh?
That's her purse.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't she have ID in there?
They looked. She didn't. It was just the money and the key, and now Betty's gone. Like literally gone.
Betty's not here, Mrs. Torrance.
By the way, you notice she's very clearly fluent in Spanish, and Rita Hayworth was born Margarita Carmen Cancino. Just saying. Sure, that's intentional. Here we go.
Don't do it. I have to know.
What's in it?
Dark.
Whoa.
Yep.
She got sucked into the box.
You getting Hellraiser vibes from this now?
Kinda, yeah. Well, there's Aunt Ruth. It's almost as if she never left.
With the red hair.
Yep.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
One more time if you do good, huh?
But what happens when you see the cowboy 3 times, which we now have?
Yep. Okay, okay, okay. Notice the robe, the ashtray, and the coffee cup.
Okay.
So now she's not Betty. Now she's Diane.
Right.
She stole some of my stuff. Isn't that what she said?
Exactly. Exactly right.
Is that an ashtray shaped like a piano?
Yep. And there's another blue key, a different kind of blue key.
Don't be a flatliner.
So why did they switch apartments?
I don't know.
Yeah, I know everything else, but you don't know that.
There's a lot. Yeah.
This is a puzzle box. This movie's a puzzle box.
Should I go ahead and throw out why I think she switched apartments?
Yeah. Why do you think she switched apartments?
I think, well, I have two ideas. One of them is because at this point, I think the cops are looking for her.
Dies. So if anyone else is talking,
Yeah,
I can't hear anything.
very probably. Which brings up a whole other set of why, she's in trouble with, why she'd be in trouble with the police or someone trying to kill her. Has she? Nope, apparently not. Yeah, I think the robe, coffee cup, ashtray thing is just, he might as well just come right out and say it. I mean, of all the clues, that one makes it very obvious that this scene is non-linear, and you're supposed to tie it in with, what we saw before and what we're going to see now. Obviously, this is not taking place after the scene that we just saw. And you'll realize that in just a moment when the robe is suddenly gone. And the ashtray is back. So this must be an earlier scene.
Look at this.
Yep.
Do you like that set?
It is pretty cool, actually.
Oh, you harpy.
I know. And that look she gives her, like, after saying, can she stay? Yeah, I want her to see this.
Ooh. Like that old-fashioned refrigerator?
Yeah, well, I mean, they worked well, but I'll tell you, kids got dead playing in them. They were airtight.
Yeah, yeah.
And you couldn't open them from the inside.
No.
This is brutal. Another view of the same red lamp.
Hello, it's me. Sorry.
Also non-linear. She's wearing a different top. This obviously took place previously.
And of course, the cover of the DVD.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Because the street is where I'm going. And the curb is at the side by the sewer where the rain goes down.
We all float down here. Am I mixing metaphors again?
Yep. Love the music here.
Very Twin Peaks-esque.
Yeah, well, a lot of the same themes. Very much the same tonality. You'll notice this is kind of where we came in, just with a different girl. And of course, the same composer. And this is kind of the opposite of the beginning of the movie, where she was in the car accident and then went downhill.
She's wearing a cape. Oh, that's a scarf.
No caps. So this movie is Diane's life before she met Agent Cooper.
Or it's Janie E. before she got married to Dougie Jones.
Yeah.
So now we have Ann Miller playing a different role.
No, still Coco.
Well, yes.
But she wasn't late. She didn't even know about the party.
Coco doesn't seem too pleased.
Coco sees through all the bullshit.
And of course, speaking of some kind of wonderful, Scott Coffee.
Yep. And she's telling this backstory of hers about winning the Jitterbug contest and all that. She's telling it to Ann Miller, who appeared in the movie Jam Session 1944, where she played an idealistic young actress who received a trip to Hollywood as a reward for winning a dance competition in her small hometown.
It's all connected, folks.
What is that being served? Dessert? What is that?
Don't know.
Oh,
Get that?
there.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, there. Yeah.
Should I get you some arsenic?
Right.
Uh-oh. See what it is?
Yep. And what it really is her. I believe this is more or less the way it really happened. And she is projecting onto it what she wants to believe actually happened.
She needed to borrow some lipstick.
Yes, she needed to borrow some lipstick. And the
Cowboy.
cowboy.
And well, we're up to 4. What the cowboy? Snapple. Oh man.
The implication being, if you see me once, if you do good, you see me twice, if you do bad. If you do even worse and even worse.
Are getting toenail transplants. No, wait.
In this movie, that could be what comes out of his mouth. Going to be what?
They
Signing
purposely
ourselves
draw
up
it
for
out.
radiation treatments.
Look who she's with now.
No.
Big wad of bills in a purse again.
He gave her the out.
Yep. So the fact that the blue key was on the table later on means it was finished.
The
Did you
answer
see who
to
else
that
was in?
no.
The guy who had the dream was in the Winkies.
Yep. He's a harbinger of bad things.
Look who
Insanity. The old couple from the airport. There's the key. It's done.
What's that key to?
Didn't say.
He laughed at her when she asked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Knock,
Someone said,
knock.
what the hell is that? What was that?
It's the old couple. Somebody's knocking. Should I let him in?
Kablam.
The end of the dream.
So what does this part mean?
Means she's dead, Boomer.
What? It's the
Dead body number
microphone.
17.
Yes, exactly right.
Yep.
She is the dead body in 17.
The blonde or the brunette?
Right.
Exactly. My suspicion is that all the characters in the dream sequence were just manifestations of her own personality. They were, of course, people in her real life, but the real Kathy Selwyn came to town to be a movie star, failed, got her heart broken, all of her deep dreams dashed, tried to, or actually did put a hit out on someone she cared about, couldn't live with the guilt, put a hit out on herself. That is the long and the short of the theory, but I'm going to get way deeper into the apparent symbolism, at least as I theorize it next week.
And I definitely have a few of my own. So who knows? And probably some that will definitely intersect, I think.
Crossover, yeah. I put this gosh, how long is this? I got a 7-page thing that I wrote years ago that breaks down each one of the 10 clues, and then I go into a bunch of other bullet points. The cowboy, and this is all from years ago. I haven't even read this through since then, and I'm guessing that a lot of my theories may have changed since then. But I'll throw it out there. I feel like it's a jumping off point. So,
Do you like the cowboy?
We'll talk about that next week when I start talking about who I think the cowboy is. You like that, Curtis? It was you thought it was a good movie? I think it was interesting. I also like the subdued music over the credits.
This is very ambiance.
Yeah.
Ambiance.
It's you're meant to feel a little bit at the end of this movie, and so they're not going to do anything in the closing credits to some sort of a bebop song or something like that. Yeah,
it should have been the music they were playing in the at the
studio. Yeah. There's 16 Reasons Why I Love You or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know how well that would work.
It's like the ambiance is fighting with whatever scores there.
Right.
Basically, Twin Peaks meets Sybil. Well,
yeah.
Hold that thought. All right. Well, we next week we are to be taking the deep dive into kind of our individual theories.
What it was we saw here.
Yeah. And since we do have Blake's 7 to get to, and I don't want to hold that back like too far, let's go around the horn.
Pick this up again next week.
We are.
And stay where you are in Cosme. You will be redirected to Blake 7.
Yep, exactly right.
All right. So one time real quick around the horn. Netter, what do you have coming up?
I am still in communications with one guest that I might get on. I think I'm going to have him on in 2 weeks rather than this week. So right now it's looking at me and Troy.
Yeah, could just be us. You never know.
And then Saturday we are going to be watching The Freshman, which is a really great movie. Brando and the other guy.
Brando and that other guy, Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick. Couldn't think of his name.
Right.
Other than that, I'm just guesting everywhere.
Yep.
And that's it for me.
All righty. Boomer.
I'll be on Last Call this Friday with Troy Pacelli, and then Sunday, as always, Geeky Geezers. We should have some interesting topics to cover, including Dakota Johnson's recent comments about the state of Hollywood, which might be interesting.
I think that is very timely, considering the movie that we just watched.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
All right, Troy.
So obviously Blake 7 right after this. The next episode is Children of Auron. I have liquid lunch every day at noon Central. Again, this Friday for I almost said live from Sparkwood 21. Last call. What are we talking, Boomer? It's
Summer movies of 85.
85. Yeah, it was a big year.
1985.
It was a big year for movies. It really was.
Yes.
So looking forward to that. And then all those other things those other guys just said.
Yes.
All right. That brings things back around to me. I will do the short version. Join Jedi and Jedi. Oh, he's gonna kill me for that.
He is still calling him that, right?
Outlaw Bill for Action Theater back at its regular day and time, Thursdays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Bond month continues with Pierce Brosnan's first foray as 007, GoldenEye. Then, of course, later that night, join me for Coming Attractions, where I get the chance to touch base with my loyal subscribers and channel members. Let everybody know what I'm going to be doing for the next week. This is my birthday this weekend, and so there's going to be there will be some celebratory videos and whatnot, and some other appearances that I'm going to be making. So I'll let everybody know.
Hopefully, you won't be appearing in your birthday suit.
No, certainly not. And thank you, Camilla. So glad I found a David Lynch zone. Exactly. Yes, thank you. No women were abused or harmed during this production. Well, hopefully not. Ever seen Goldfinger? Many times. It's actually my favorite Bond film. And yeah, thank you. Happy birthday to me. All right. So go ahead and quickly wrap it up. Netter, would you like to take us off to your last words?
I want to thank everyone, of course, for being here. Y'all are our family, and we love you all very much. Thank you for the many ways that you support us. And if you stay right here, you should be automatically redirected over to Troy's channel for Blake 7. Also stay where you are in Cosme, since that's the same Cosme that we will be in for Blake 7. And until next time, good night and God bless.
All right. And as I always say at the end of every show, thank you all once again for joining us here in the live chat. Those of you watching on our various channels, please make sure to give everybody a thumbs up, hit the like, share out the stream. And if you are new to our channels and you like what you see, please subscribe. And of course, memberships are up on my channel, Troy's and Netter's. So please feel free to become a member. And thank everybody who joined us tonight on X. And thank everybody who watches on the delay. From HQ, the corner of Sparkwood and 21, and all points north, south, east, west, and beyond. Good night. Take care. Stay strong. Be safe and healthy, because this is how we win.